Marina Bay Sands, Singapore's biggest hotel, over 2,500 guest rooms, 57 stories, 450 chefs, and 43 kitchens. And one man runs them all.
It's really big. I have a lot of kitchens to look after.
One of the biggest is a kitchen the guests never use.
One of the most exciting things I do is take responsibility for our team dining room.
And it never closes.
7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It is non-stop.
This week, he has even more on his plate.
Hari Raya, and this is the breaking of the fast from Ramadan.
Spend 24 hours with Chef Christie and discover a side to Marina Bay Sands that the guests never see.
This is us. This is what we do.
Marina Bay Sands, Singapore.
I just love the cultures and I love the experiences and I love the vibrancy.
He also loves his job. And to cover what he does in 24 hours, you'd have to.
Morning, how are you?
I'm an early guy, so I like to get in here and to check on breakfast. I'm going to be checking all my ordering, all the food that needs to be purchased, you know, is obviously coming through me, and that's one of the first things I do in the morning. You know, our property is very unique because we encompass three major components. One is obviously the hotel with 2,600 rooms. And then we have this exhibition and meeting space that has one ballroom that can sit down 6,000 people, as well as two other carpeted spaced floors and two concrete floors for exhibitions. And the third component is our casino. So we really have this massive footprint. Within it, there's 43 kitchens that are directly under my domain, and from that we have around 450 chefs.
Hidden underneath this resort is a small city. This enormous complex is the hotel's lifeline. At any given time, there are over 7,000 people working here. And one thing they all need to do is eat. That takes 3 kitchens, 70 staff, and 2 dining rooms, just for the hotel's employees.
You know, one of the most exciting things I do is take responsibility for our team dining room. Actually, we have 2 different team dining rooms because of our size. It's all cooked out of one area, one big kitchen that is actually broken down into 3 separate kitchens because of the cooking styles that we need to do. You know, we're dealing with dozens of nationalities who work at Marina Bay Sands. We respect everyone, so we're constantly doing food that will try to suit everyone's needs. That kitchen operates 24 hours. Got quite a bit of staff, of course, with the amount that we have to cook for. And on any given day, it's a minimum of 7,000 team member meals that we're preparing. And when I say team member meals, I mean full hot meals. And it's quite a variety. It certainly is a lot of work because it's a constant flow of our team members, of our staff who are coming in and need nourishing and need replenishing. They need to refuel and get back to work, and that's what we're about.
Keeping everyone fed and happy is a 24-hour job.
You see, the hours are crazy to a banker. But to me, a banker's hours are crazy. I wouldn't know what to do with my time if I had to work 9 to 5. I need that adrenaline rush. So as much as we work more than some other professions, that's where the excitement is. That's where the energy is. You know, I can walk through our property at 11 o'clock at night and the place is buzzing. How do you walk away from that and go home and feed your dog?
Chef Christie is on his daily rounds.
Morning. How are you guys? Morning. Hi guys, can you put your hat on? Hats on, guys. Just keep it over there. Okay, thank you. Hi, Chief. How are you?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, busy day?
Yeah, it's okay.
You know, really what I do when I do my rounds, I'm looking at general cleanliness first thing, the overall cleanliness. I'm looking at the floors, I'm looking at the guys. I'm just trying to get a feel for how the environment is, if it's total chaos or things are really under control. Morning guys, ladies, how are you? About the organization, I can see how their stocks are, I can see how their mise en place, their preparation is. Morning guys. Do they have enough? I can see that they're not running out of things. If I go digging deep into the refrigerator, if I have time, just to make sure that the rules are being followed, the hygiene practices are in place. That's really a major part of my job, and it's something I do in each one of the kitchens every day.
One of his first stops, the team dining kitchens.
Okay, so it's just after 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're really getting ready for our lunch period. These are built and designed purely for our staff dining rooms. Because our volume is so big with the number of staff that we're cooking for every day, they really had to create its own environment.
Today, they're preparing more than the usual lunches and dinners. There's a very special team event tonight.
Hari Raya, and this is the breaking of the fast from Ramadan. So we're creating an environment for all of our Muslim team members or anyone who wants to join us in one of our function rooms, and we're going to break the fast together, basically as one family.
The halal chefs prepare this feast.
Halal really is for Muslims, and it's about following the beliefs and the laws set forth much in the way that kosher is. So all meat that we're going to be ordering has to be halal meat. It has to be prepared by a halal butcher. It has to be a certified halal butcher. There has to be actually a seal that goes with it. For us to claim that we're serving halal food, it has to be licensed by the local regulatory authority. All the vegetables, all the produce, the people doing the preparation really should be living a halal lifestyle. There has to be a deep belief in the actual respect for the beliefs of the people.
Singapore boasts an eclectic mix of nationalities and cultures, and the kitchens reflect this.
Simultaneously, we have 3 kitchens operating. This one we're standing in now is our Asian kitchen, predominantly Chinese. To the back is our Western kitchen, and behind me is our halal Muslim kitchen.
And they cook their way through a mountain of food every day.
On a daily basis, just for the team member dining room, we purchase 1.5 tons of vegetable and produce per day. So if you times that, by 30, you're looking at around 45. Just for a team dining room. Meat, your seafood, chicken, or beef or pork, you're looking at about 1.2. So similar, say 35 tons of meat items or proteins per month. So then the numbers are staggering, and that's just to feed our team members.
And he also has thousands of guests to feed. Chef's next stop, guest breakfast.
Rises are probably most consistent, biggest volume, averaging around 2,000 covers a day.
Since opening, this hotel has focused on food.
We knew that we have a phenomenal opportunity to open something very unique. First, because of what we had planned, and secondly, because of the location of it. And being in Singapore, such a food country, this is brand new for Asia. We really brought something that didn't exist here before. And you start by having the right mental attitude and selecting the right team.
And Christie was on the team from the start.
When we first were getting ready to open, we really looked at, okay, how are we going to operate this?
You need to aim to hit the right palates. You need to aim to have the right spectrum of cuisines, of price points. And we've done a lot of groundwork before starting this project in terms of who the customers are going to be, where they're coming from, how long are they going to stay in Marina Bay Sands, and how long do they tend to stay in Singapore.
One of his first challenges was how to build a culinary department on this scale.
When we opened in this size and in this magnitude, I think all of us just looked at it as no walls. We were ready for anything. We anticipated that anything could happen and probably would, and we learned quick enough that it does. You know, when we started to do our purchasing based on our menus that we had written, when we started to look at the volumes we could possibly doing, we spoke to our suppliers before we opened. We talked to them about their flexibility because we need to be flexible. And if something changed in the morning, could they adapt and be able to accommodate our needs in the afternoon? And we were met with some really great surprises. It was a lot of guesswork. I guess experience helped me through that, and a great support team around me. You know, my staff are just fantastic. And collectively, we really came up with some good decisions. And sure, we made a few hiccups, and we just adapted and got around it, and by the second go around, we got it right.
This challenge resulted in over 20 restaurants scattered across the property, serving everything from sushi to steaks. All of this cooking starts with the right shopping list. It isn't just the kitchens that get Chef Christie's personal attention. His next stop of the morning, the loading bay.
We have a delivery of eggs at the moment, and we go through somewhere in the neighborhood of about 3,000 eggs a day. So we order hard-boiled eggs that were done just yesterday, and they're used in local cuisine. And then we also order liquid eggs because of the convenience and the speed and the volume that we're going through. We just save a lot of labor on having the eggs already cracked for us.
Even on this scale, environmental responsibility matters.
We try to stay green. We use recyclable containers for the eggs, so we're not just throwing away cardboard, you know, every 30 pieces of eggs.
Chef doesn't do this job alone. He has a master team.
So I'm here checking on the product. The team is well trained. Our logistical team is going to do the execution of getting it to the locations. They know exactly what to look for. We have our quality standards, we have our inspections, we have our temperature checks. You know, there's a criteria that needs to be met to follow our hygiene practices. And I just come down and check on the guys to make sure that everything's working well. If they need my opinion on something, maybe we have to reject an item. You know, they want to get verification about the rejection, when the replacement item would be coming. These guys are really great.
Upstairs, another chef is filling his shelves with customer favorites. But these treats don't arrive at the warehouse. Ryan Witcher is a master pastry chef.
We do this around the same time every day, around 9:30, 10 o'clock. We get all the pastries up. We refill the pralines, macaroons, and we just get ready for another busy day in Sweet Spot. Pastry is fun for me. When I was a kid, my grandma, there's like a little small town that she was from, and it was like an old-fashioned ice cream shop. And the best part about it was they probably had 50 or 60 different types of sprinkles, and I loved it. She would let us pick 2 different sprinkles. I remember like halfway through the week, like trying to say, oh, if I do this combination, but what if I do this? What can I have a star? It's just fun to me. Like, I wish even today my favorite dessert is a bowl of ice cream with sprinkles on top.
This location is a customer favorite.
Every time you look up, you always see people, like, especially little kids, like catching a sneak peek at you, and it's like, I don't know, it kind of makes you feel good. Like, you see all the colors and all your hard work, it really pays off, and it's great.
Sweet Spot is a good example. It's a concept that we started from scratch. So we had, again, a clean slate. We had a space. We knew we wanted to create an area that serves coffee, sweets, breakfast breads and pastries, danishes. We knew that Singapore would be a phenomenal market for this concept. And when we disagreed on something, there were some cases I brought the boards home, and we had orange theme and we had a green theme, which was pistachio color. Which one? And I was sitting in front of my wife and 3 girls, and I said, okay, which one do you like best?
And the final choice, pistachio. Back underground, chefs almost finished with the deliveries.
You know, the interesting thing about Marina Bay Sands, it really is 24/7 operation. So we're constantly receiving delivery goods mornings, especially, because that's when we want to process our food for the day up.
A favorite ingredient on the Singapore menu, fish.
Singapore is a seafood lover's paradise because there's, you know, we're on the water, obviously, so there's always been a love affair of fresh seafood and fish.
Oh, thanks.
Back in the kitchens. Someone has to prepare this truckload of supplies. It's a flurry of activity, as every variation of seafood is sliced and diced. And the food goes straight from the chopping board to the stove. First up, a menu favorite, prawn curry.
So what we have going here, the chef is actually just blanching the prawns, shell on, head on. So we're blanching it first, and from there we're gonna shift it over and braise it curry. So a little bit spicy. Actually, probably quite a bit spicy, depending on what you're used to, but very nice. And we'll use somewhere in the neighborhood of 350 kilos of prawns today, just for the team members. So it's always appreciated. It's a little messy, you know, when you're having a lunch, but our team members really enjoy it. It's great. You know, we try to vary it up. Of course, we do a beef lasagna as well. We do a vegetarian lasagna, but little trend, I guess, for people getting away from eating so much beef and pork. This is a nice alternative, and we found when we just tested it, did very well with the customer. Good. Very good. Put it over there for the table.
Upstairs, with guest breakfast over, Rise prepares for lunch. And a mainstay on this buffet, bread. Another job for Ryan.
We're setting up for our bread displays throughout the Marina Bay Sands. We laminate our own doughs, so we have to make sure the butters are the right temperature. And that's why we have a split between the pastry, the bakery, and also the bakery production, because you need the temperature humidity control so you can help with the fermentation of the dough and help with the laminating of the dough.
Laminating means rolling layers of fat or butter between layers of dough, creating a puffy effect. Good bread is hard to master, and one of the challenges here is humidity.
Humidity adds a lot of moisture in the air, so it makes bread soggy faster. So and it is heavier. So what we need to do is find a way to lighten it up to get that steam in there and to get it like a harder crust. So that way it holds up to the humidity and the elements from the outside.
Almost all the hotel's bread is made on site, by a small team of bakers.
I love the bread because it's so complex. It's so, like, you have to know your flours, because each of them have a different application for them. You need to know your environment, the crust, how to get the flavors that you want into it without ruining the gluten strength, without completely changing it. Or else if you're just throwing stuff in there, then what you end up with is like a hard rock. And you have to sit back and think, you're like, oh man, what did I do?
It goes straight from the ovens to the tables.
So this is very important here that we really make sure that we're counting the bread, we're going out, and each outlet is getting the bread they need. Otherwise, it's such a big property and so many different roles going on that all of a sudden, like, we could be switching up between the club level on 57, some celebrity chef restaurants, all the way through the restaurants in Sweet Spot and Rise. They could be getting different bread orders, so this is a very critical stage. It's also another final check. We can feel the texture of the bread. We can make sure the color's nice and caramelized. And we always taste as well. So we'll take like a sample back and we'll kind of like all look around. We'll smell it like that. What we want to do is we want to break it open too, to make sure you see everything. This is our pretzel roll, so you want like nice chewiness, nice texture. See the salt, and you always want to eat it. And while you're eating, you want to smell. You can smell the yeast in it and make sure everything's fermented correctly, and it's fantastic. Another good bread. And off we go.
And Ryan likes to deliver his baked goods personally. Back in staff dining, the gates are open. The hotel staff work shifts, which helps the kitchen manage their numbers. Chef isn't stopping for a snack. He's off to another department.
Hi, guys.
A kitchen that operates on demand.
Here we have a very interesting space. This is purely for in-room dining. This entire kitchen will handle all 2,600 odd rooms at Marina Bay Sands.
Good evening. Thank you for calling Room Dining. This is Muslia speaking. How may I assist you?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner overnight. We can be doing anywhere between 400 to 700 orders per day. So this is our in-room dining. Hot side is divided into Western cooking. And at the far side is our Asian cooking. So you really have two different crews working here. You need two different skill sets. These guys are really very good, and they take care of a lot of action in one given day. Structure this building with its 3 towers, they've got a lot of distance for these service staff to get to. They could be covering anywhere between 400, 500 meters just to deliver one order.
In-room dining.
And the guys do a great job. It's phenomenal to see how fast they move.
It's shift change time, and that means rush hour in Marina Bay Sands' subterranean city. This staff-only area is a maze of interconnecting corridors providing everything the team members might need. ATMs, a staff laundry, even a grocery store. And of course, one of the best restaurants in the hotel. It's midway through the afternoon, and Chef calls a team meeting.
Gentlemen, ladies, thanks. It's been a good week. Next week, with the holiday coming, more or less going to be about the same as this week, a little bit drop. And then after that, as you know, it's a new month. And that month looks to be one of the strongest months so far, especially in mice. But as you can see, Rise is doing extremely well for breakfast. It's doing well for the evening, soft at lunch. It's going to continue that way. This weekend, we're 100%. Tonight, all the way until Tuesday, it's 100%, and then it drops to 98. So the occupancy is extremely high.
With a culinary operation on this scale, communication is crucial.
Because of our size, I didn't want to have a structure that was too many levels, too many tiers, because I wanted, you know, our staff to be able to talk directly to me if they need something. Obviously, each kitchen has its own leader. It has its own chef. So I have those key figures. Now, between those chefs de cuisines and myself, I have another layer that is an executive sous chef. So it's funneling up, but it's funneling up in a manner that can be easily controlled, but at the same time allow for proper communication, flowing up or flowing down.
With the hygiene audit, now with the last hygiene audit, we've really passed a 1 full year program. More importantly, we had our first unannounced audit.
We did a lot of things great, but we're not 100%. And it's really what our goal is.
There was a cake for the special request last minute. We went for the up on Sky Park.
Sky Park is the hotel showpiece. Sitting at the top of this groundbreaking hotel, Sky Park's crown is an impressive infinity pool with a great view. It's also home to the chocolate bar, a nightly dessert buffet. And Ryan is busy preparing today's menu. Using only the finest ingredients.
So we have here is our 24 karat gold stamped sheets. So I just take a little bit off. And I strategically place it around the cake so that it draws attention to the dessert, but it doesn't take away from the dessert. Like if you cover the whole thing in gold leaf, it's like, it doesn't seem so elusive and attractive. It seems like anybody can have it. But if you put like a little piece here, a little piece there, it's like, it makes it more elegant, like, ooh, that's hard to get. Like it is what it is, it's awesome.
Almost every cake and piece of chocolate served at the hotel is made and decorated in-house.
Pastry is about the fun, the artistic. It's a way to show your personality. That's what makes me love my job. It makes me get up early in the morning, work the long hours. The love, it really shows through, and the passion really has to show through. And I think a lot of that can be expressed with the colors, the airbrushing, just putting that little detail, doing something that nobody else does, like making it a memorable experience, because people remember the experience. They remember how you made them feel. We are going to spray our molds. So I'm looking for here is for the color really to jump out. Right now you can see half and half. And like that little fine detail is what's going to make it stand out in our pastry case. Oh, how'd they do that? You can do different effects to it. Now we have a little circle. We can let that dry, and then we can put another color behind it. So it'll give like a ring effect, almost like Saturn or Jupiter. Your imagination is your limits. We have to make our truffle shell now. We're going to fill it with chocolate. We usually do like a 10 count. And as soon as we get the 10 count, we flip it over, and we're gonna pour the chocolate out of it. And we're gonna tap on the mold to make sure it's like nice, evenly coated. It's very important to scrape the mold so it's clean. Whatever that kind of overlaps will make it stick later on in the process. We're gonna let it sit for a little while. We want the chocolate to crystallize. We're gonna fill the ganache about 1 millimeter from the top.
Ganache is the name given for a mixture of chocolate and cream.
Once the ganache sets up, we're gonna go back over, and that's gonna be the bottom of the praline. It just really shows how much pastry is refined and precise. And you come up with a beautiful, shiny praline, which, as I was saying before, this is one of my favorite. And it's our Jack Daniels. So when we were spraying the mold earlier, you can see I only sprayed half of it, and this is the separation you get, and you get that nice little glisten to it. And like any good pastry chef, we always wanna try our work, and the best thing to do is just eat it. Yeah, that's fantastic. Like, it's truly fantastic. You can see the smoothness of the ganache. You can see that it's still emulsified. It still kept its integrity. Now I verified everything's perfect. The texture is great. It's nice, shiny. It's emulsified. I don't want all my hard work to go to waste, and I'm just gonna finish it.
It's late afternoon. While guests enjoy the scenery from above, downstairs in the team dining kitchen, the chefs gear up for dinner.
People, what do you have inside? Is the fish? Can I see? This is one of our pioneers. One of our pioneers from pre-opening time. He's a great gentleman, one of the best Chinese chefs around. He's doing a great job. Today we got a nice chili, steamed chili fish. We're using tilapia. It's one of the dishes that we continually get asked, to put on the menu. It's going to go very well with the rice. We should go look at the rice. This is what we endearingly call our rice bank. And really what this is a series of steamers that work almost 24/7 just cooking rice, because we're continually refreshing the rice. You can't use rice that's been sitting around too long. We probably have about 110 kilos of rice cooking in a very short period of time, and will be consumed in an even quicker period of time. So something that the staff love.
They can get through 500 kilos of rice in a day. And it's one of the hardest things to cook well.
The beauty with the steamers is it's really a matter of mixing the right quantity of rice with the right quantity of water, and just putting it in the steamer. We know what our time frame is. We put it in, we time it, we take it out. It's perfect every time. Over here, we're slicing some bacon-wrapped pork. This is going to be one of our roast items. So the pork was marinated overnight. We're using bacon just to keep it moist. And we'll be slicing about 100 kilos of this just for the staff. And luckily, with our volume, we really don't have any leftovers. So our rice is ready after an hour. They're bringing it out, they're flaking it, lighten it up a little bit, make it a little bit fluffy, of course, but also to slow down any further cooking, to release some of the heat from the inside. You can see how much steam is coming off when he starts to move it around. Started with about 100 kilos of rice. Now, once the water's infused into it, it's probably about 250. So once these are all out, chef's actually going to start the next one right after that. So it really is just another batch going in.
Preparing the perfect Asian dish is as much art as it is science.
The secret to cooking Asian food is the same as the secret to cooking Western food. You've got to have the right equipment. You've got to have the right ingredients. You've got to know what the end result should really be. You know, you've got to be able to taste it in your mind and in the back of your tongue, even though it's not there yet. You know, with a wok, you have to learn what wok hay is. You know, it's really about the fire and the smoke that comes off the wok when you get the right temperature with the product in there. That's what makes a difference when you can actually taste that wok. You can taste the heat that came with stir-frying that ingredient the way it should be. So the secrets are kind of secrets.
The halal kitchen has more to prepare than dinner. In just 2 hours, Hari Raya begins. Ramadan is a month where Muslims fast during daylight hours. Hari Raya Puasa breaks this fast.
This is our halal kitchen. So he's just getting some vegetables ready. He's got some mushrooms, some chili leaf in there, little turmeric. On this side we have egg sambal. We have a fair amount of vegetarian team members. We ensure that there's at least 6 to 7 items, hot items, that are vegetarian every day for the team members because the request is so big. For example, now he's starting to do a braised cabbage. That's going to be purely vegetarian. So you can see it's just a little wok. So. What we showed you earlier was, you know, the basic steamed rice for the Asian and the Chinese kitchen. But on the Western side today, we're doing sort of a fusion rice. It's a basmati rice, but we've cooked it with coconut and pandan. So here we're just stirring it up. Putting a rice on the Western side, most people think, oh, that's weird, but it fits very well with the rest of the menu. Just one of our vegetables that we're cooking. You can see the size of the wok gives the chef the ability to blanch in bigger volumes and still keep the quality. You can see the cabbage as it's coming out is actually still green. The carrots are the right color. They've been cooked properly. Hey, great.
These staff kitchens are located next to one of the 2 staff dining rooms. The second dining room is based at the casino, so everything is prepared here and moved over. And it's a long walk. Chef's next stop, the Hari Raya celebration. One of the traditional starters at this feast is dates. But he's walked in to a problem. There are more people than pieces of this fruit. And with just minutes to go, there's no time to run back and get some more. As the room fills up for the Hari Raya feast,
On 3, 1, 2, 3, and one more. 5, 2, 3.
Chef is waiting on a last-minute delivery. He's short on dates.
Hey chef, thanks for bringing the dates, man.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So the dates are really the beginning of the breaking of the fast. And it's because there's a high concentration of sugar, and that gives immediate energy. It's quickly absorbed into the body. So this is really a tradition to have these dates before they're eating any other items to break the fast.
That's right.
With Ramadan over, the numbers of daily meals in team dining will be going up. Ryan is leaving the party early. He has a chocolate show to put on. It's time to put his new flavors on display.
It's a brand new dessert today. It's a strawberry basil truffle pop. Really excited to get on the buffet spread for our chocolate bar. Go up 2 more floors and this will be on the buffet for tonight, and it's gonna be amazing. Everyone's gonna love it.
The chocolate bar is located on Sky Park. It's Chef's last stop of the day.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Chef, how are you doing?
Good. Is that the new setup? That's the new acrylic.
So this is a new acrylic stand we have for the macaroons.
Okay.
I think it's going to help out. Here we have the brandied cherry. So the cherries are in season now, so trying to get some more of the seasonal ingredients in it.
Maybe we should do then, because the cherries are in for at least another 2 weeks. Why don't you just pile up some cherries in here, just to tie in that sort of flavor that aesthetically and...
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, that might look really nice. It's looking good.
Ryan adds the finishing touches to the perfect chocolate feast. After a long day, Chef is about to clock off, leaving Ryan to finish the evening.
So finish up here, get everything filled up for tomorrow, and we'll see what we got.
We're done. Hey guys. Jimmy!
He has just one last kitchen walkthrough on his way to the door.
Hey, be careful with this. Don't leave this under a heat lamp, you crazy guy. Huh? Thank you. Hi. Can you guys put your French fries in the freezer, please?